Welcome back to The Gloves Are Off. Here's our second dump and change segment. We'll start with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Everyone's talking about this kid still, and he's giving people reason to still talk about him. Like, he's leading the Oilers in points, leading all NHL rookies in points. Like, what can you say about this kid?
Well, I mean, for me, I was one of those, I played devil's advocate against him because I didn't think he was really ready to play this year. But,
a lot of people didn't.
But because of size more than anything and the pressure of, not the pressure so much, because I've watched the kid for a few years before this. And same token, I just didn't think he was physically going to be strong enough to play in the league right now. He was getting killed on faceoffs all the time.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? I truly believe the Edmonton Oilers did one of the greatest things. Their due diligence was remarkable, and really, I think, thought a lot of what was the best interest for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, because at the end of the day, down the road, I think you're going to hear of this young man, and I'm not going to put him in the Gretzky category, but I certainly hold his vision in place second or third to Wayne.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
he is impressing. How about you, Jason?
Well, I think you see a guy, heard the other day that the average height in the NHL is 6'1", right? And you get a lot of players making it because of their size and their speed and their strength and their shot and their checking ability. And you don't see a lot of guys making it because of their vision and their understanding of the game. And that's what makes him so unique and such a good player at that level. And the guys, you want to play with a player like that because you know when he's got the puck, he's constantly looking for you. And it makes you play harder because you know if you hit that hole, he's going to find you. Whereas if you're playing with guys that are up and down players, they tend not to see it as much, right?
Right.
And so I think it makes people around him better.
And people are still talking about his size, and that leads me to my next point. When is this long 82-game NHL season going to catch up to him, or is it going to?
Well, for me, I hope it never catches up to him. I hope he has a remarkable season, but I think, enough of the older players are going to get sick and tired of this little puppy line out on the ice that is running the show out there, because they're all skilled players and they're all very good chemistry. You got speed with Hall, you've got shooting, great stick handling with Eberle, and then all of a sudden you put a Nugent-Hopkins in. And I remember, if you remember Hall's first goal, I remember looking at it. People don't think much of that pass that he made to Hall, but I think he was looking straight at the guy in the slot. And he just got everyone thinking that, and then he threw it back door. I think that was, and I think if you ask their players, they'd say he's probably the best passer on their team, hands down. But I don't think it's ever, the grind is going to get to him at some point, because he's used to playing 72 games. So we'll see, but these are men he's playing with. He's not playing with boys.
Let's talk about his team. The Oilers are coming off, they just came off that 6-game winning streak, and that was very impressive. And they're third in the West right now. I know it's early. I don't want to go a little crazy here, but they already have a third of the wins that they had last season. They got to be better than last year, and maybe playoff bound?
Yeah, I still think we got some, it's going to take some time to see if they're going to actually be playoffs. I think their defense is overachieved, has played higher than what they are. And if they don't bring in probably another guy or two, I don't know if they're going to make it by the end. Their goaltending's been unbelievable.
Lights out. Yeah.
And possibly I could see them being a very good tandem for the rest of the year. But, Harry Boulin's under a goal a game against average, right? That starts to come back down to earth. You got some young guys that haven't gone through the grind of an 82 season. You've got a team that for 2 years in a row hasn't played meaningful games in the last 30 games this season. There's a lot of stuff that's still going to come down the line here.
It's a long season. I think I agree with the defense. I think they've overachieved. I'd like to see them stay that way. I'm not an Oiler fan. I'll tell you that straight up. But I think Oiler fans should be really encouraged of what their team could be, maybe this year, but down the road, if they can keep some of their young guys around, there's going to be a very special hockey team in Edmonton. I totally believe that. Harry Boulin, I think, through all his things that he's gone through, again, I don't throw stones through glass windows, but, that's quite, there's a lot that's happened to him.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very capable goaltender. It's great to see Abby play the way he is. But I think those numbers are going to elevate too. He's playing unconscious right now.
Yeah.
We kind of had a goaltender like that ourselves. Tyler Briggs that won 9 in a row and just barely over a goal against. So I know what it's like. The forwards, 82 games, Smitty's going to be the catalyst that keeps that group together.
I agree.
He's
And in
gotta
the
be the
past,
leader.
he's only been a guy that's usually played 65 games. So is he capable of playing in 80 games this year? Because he is one of that major glues for them guys.
We'll see. He plays a pretty dangerous style of hockey. He takes a lot of abuse, but if he can stay healthy, it's good news for the Oilers. We'll go to CFL playoffs now. Now, we have a couple matchups this Sunday. We have the Edmonton Eskimos against the Calgary Stampeders. Then we have the Hamilton Tiger Cats taking on the Montreal Alouettes. Who do you guys like? Let's start out west, Edmonton, Calgary.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm going with Edmonton. I think I don't like the quarterback problems that Calgary's having.
Yeah,
I think going into a
weird.
playoff game, that's usually one of the guys that is focused on is one of your leaders of your group. So I just in Edmonton on the flip side has Ricky Ray, who's been around a long time. So I think Edmonton's going to win that. And
Are you an Edmonton fan?
no, actually, I'm a Rough Rider fan, but we
Okay,
don't want to.
we
We
both-
don't want to
yeah,
go there
we
right
both
now
do that.
because
Yeah, we both suck
Nothing
on
much to
that
talk
one.
about there.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Me, you know what? I'm a Ricky. It's Ricky Ray. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
Ricky Ray.
Ricky Ray. I'm a fan of his. I love his longevity. I love what he's done with this very young football team, and he's been a leader on their team, and he's a strong competitor. That being said, I just think Calgary's going to win. I know the quarterback. It's going to be a question. It's Burris, isn't it? The quarterback
I think
was the
but
starter.
they're going with Tate, apparently.
I wouldn't be surprised if anything goes wrong within the first quarter.
He'll
then
be on a
you'll-
short leash.
Very short leash, because I want experience. If he's coming out and he's firing, then Burris sits on the side. If he's not, you put the experience back in, and all those guys will rally around him. But I'd like to see Edmonton win it, but I think Calgary will.
Now, I know both of you probably are just going to say Montreal, so yeah?
well, I
Montreal?
mean, I think to waste time.
Yeah.
talk
Let's
about
Let's
that.
not waste time then.
Yeah.
Montreal.
You want to? I'm not going with Montreal. I'm going Edmonton.
Oh, never
Montreal's
mind.
way superior, blah, 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 blah. All the stats go in their favor, yeah. Want the underdog, Hamilton to win it. It's Carly Agro's team. I can't believe I'm saying that, Carly. I hope
Neither
you're
can
not
I.
listening to the show. It sucks that I'm going to say Hamilton. But you know what? There's a little Cinderella story, and give it to Hamilton, and I'd love him to kick
Hey, anybody who doesn't
Montreal's
think Brian Kern's a dreamer, there you go.
Hey, going for the underdog. All
junior.
right.
What the hell? You're all going to laugh at me next week when they get beat 52-2 or something. But you know what? I'm still going to go for them.
Well, that's all the time we have for Dump and Change. We have a brand new segment called Over Under coming up after the break.